Hello guys, welcome back to CTF Tricks once again, and today we'll be solving Advent of Cyber T7. So today is December 7 and it has already been 7 days of this wonderful event hosted by TryHackMe. So for those of you who don't know about TryHackMe Advent of Cyber, it's a month-long event which goes from December 1st for till December 24th, and it starts from the very basics of cybersecurity and goes up until the very promising and interesting topics that are currently dominating in the cyber world. So, brace your seat belts and let's dive right in. Today on Advent of Cyber, we will be dealing with a lab which is known as Network Discovery Santa Claus. So, network discovery is a very important topic in cybersecurity. Whenever you are trying to hack into some systems or trying to prevent hacks, you always need to know which things are open to the internet, which ports are open, how your network is working, and everything related to the networks. So on this lab, we'll be dealing with some of the very basics of networking like Netcat, Nmap, and all uh, other things. So let me start the machine, and while it starts, let's go over the very basics of this. So for this lab, you need to connect to this TryHackMe via a tag box or a VM. So I have connected via my personal PC using OpenVPN to TryHackMe's network. So you need access to TryHackMe's network to actually solve this lab. In case you were wondering how to connect via to this TryHackMe's network via OpenVPN to use your personal laptop as the sole connector, you can let me know in the comment sections, and I'll make a video on that too. So while this starts, let me just click this and let's discover. Awesome. So we'll be starting with a simple port scan. So there are many tools you can use to do a port scan. In fact, I have made a personal port scanning script, which I often tend to use at times. But is this Netcat, this Nmap, and all other things that you can use as well, which are pretty great. They are awesome actually. So our goal will be to actually do a network scan on this vulnerable machine, and once we get all the three flags, we will be let into this machine. So as we see over here, there is power pawned by hopsec. So hopsec is evil, and Eastmer's takeovers. Your QA servers answers to hopsec now. Its console is sealed with a lock only TBFC can pick. I scattered three fragments of the passphrase across your own chaos. Find them, stitch the words together, speak them to the gate, and take your box back if you can. King Malhar. And here we get a button for enter key. So we know that we have to find three unique keys that are hidden in the network. Let me increase the terminal size and let's dive right in. So first of all, we'll be doing a Nmap scan of the machine. Let me minimize it and just scan it. So I'll go back to the terminal. I'll just type Nmap and the IP of the vulnerable machine. So while we wait for the Nmap scan, so what Nmap does? So this particular command will search for all the top ports, like frequently used ports using Nmap. So it will try to find out all the frequently used TCP ports that are open in the target machine. So we already found two ports like TCP port number 22 and TCP port number 80. So what to do now? So if we want to scan the entire port range, so there are a lot of port, around 65k ports, 65,000 ports that are in a machine, as you all know. So if you want to scan the entire range of the ports, So what we need to do is we will type nmap hyphen p and then again a dash and then the IP of the target machine. So this command will actually scan the entire port range, specifically the TCP port range on this vulnerable machine. So it will scan the entire TCP port range on this vulnerable machine. So as this scans the entire port range, it takes a bit of time. So what I'll do uh, in parallel is I'll also run this using a banner script. So what banner script is, like, for every open port it will search if there is a banner that is attached to a service. So often there are banners which are helpful in hacking. When you are doing a red teaming, is banners that help you to know the version of the service that is running on and other specific details at times. So what I'll do is I'll open a new tab. Let me increase the size again. I'll do a nmap hyphen p and hyphen space hyphen hyphen script equals banner, and then I'll paste the IP address that I got. So you need to paste your own IP address over here of the vulnerable machine and press enter. So now we have these very heavy nmap scans that are running on. So let's wait for them to complete. These scans take a lot of time because they are not just scanning the frequently used port but the entire port range, which is a very big number. So while it scans, I'll pause this video and wait for the scan to complete. So now that the scans are complete, let's move on with the video. So as you can see, the nmap-p- which is just scanning for the ports, just shows us a couple of interesting insights, like the port 22 TCP is open and the service that is running is SSH. The port 80 with TCP is open and it's running the service of HTTP. The port 21212 is again open with a service called Trinket Agent. The 25251 port is also open, but the service over here is unknown. So let's see what extra information could we gather from the banner script. In the banner script, we got the following details. Like in the Trinket agent, we got to know that this is a FTP server that is running and the version of FTP is 3.0.5. This is very helpful because now what we can do is we can try to connect using FTP to this specific port. Next, in the unknown server, there is some random banner like tvhc maintained 0.2 slash something help for commands. This is very interesting, like type help for commands. So we can type help. If we can connect to that port, we can type help to get the commands. So let's see how it goes. Before moving ahead, let's go and check out the questions that we need to answer for this lab. The first question is, what evil message do you see on the top of the website? What evil message do we see? It's Eastmas takeover or pawned by Hopsick. I guess this is the message. Pawned by Hopsick. And we click on check. Yay, we got the first answer correct. So what is the first key part found on the FTP server? We don't know yet. So let's continue with our hacking. Let's go back to the terminal and let's try to connect to this machine, which will be 10.48.10.48.167.30. Let me copy this IP because we will be using it a lot more. Awesome. The port that we want to connect to is 21212. Awesome. So now we are connected to this vulnerable machine using FTP. And now what it asks us is the name. The name means the username that we want to log in as. So there is a vulnerability in FTP that is like known as the anonymous login. Usually users are recommended to actually disable the anonymous login. But let's try our luck. Anonymous. Awesome. So let's try if we can log in as anonymous. Sorry for the spelling. Again, anonymous. And once I press enter, as you can see, we could directly log in without even it asking us a password. In certain cases, you might need to give the password. The password will also be anonymous or admin or something like that. And this is a very critical flaw in FTP. This is a configuration flaw actually, which people often fail to like configure correctly, obviously. So we got the FTP shell. Now let's do ls. So here I guess there is some script, something that is running, and it is again and again sending us to a passive mode. I'll press Ctrl plus C and we see receive aborted. I cannot do anything. I cannot type any command. And okay, this is working, but I don't know what to get, so I can't do that. So let's do one thing. Let's type passive. So by with this command, I'll be moving out of this passive mode. The thing like it's saying entering extended passive mode. Once I enter this command, it won't go into passive mode anymore. So after that, I can carry on with my normal tasks. So I enter passive mode, and as we can see, passive mode is off. Fall back to active mode, off. So now let's do ls. As you can see, we have a very good file over here which is named as tbfc qa key 1. Let's try to get that key. Get tbfc qa key 1. Transfer is complete. Awesome. Now let's press exit and let's press ls. Awesome, we got the key. Let's do a cat tbfc key 1 and we got the first part of the key. Awesome. So now moving ahead, we also got an unknown port which is 25251. Let's try connecting to that. I'll use netcat to connect to this port. -V stands for verbose. So whatever connection details that we get will be listed over here. So while you are hacking, this verbose mode is definitely helpful because you never know what information you will come across. So the port is 25251. Awesome. So it's saying type help for commands. So I'll just type help. So we see like there are a set of commands over here like help, status, get key and quit. Get key sounds familiar, right? Let's type get space key. And voila, we got the second key. Let's do quit. So now that we have the first key, that is Easter, I guess, the second key which says is the, and let's go for the third key. So where will we find the third key? I'm not sure how to do that, but let's try it. We just search for the TCP ports over here. Let's try the UDP ports as well. Maybe we will come across something. So I'll again use nmap hyphen s capital U and then I'll just paste the target machine IP. SU stands for like search for sockets of UDP. So like UDP sockets. So what we get as a result is all the UDP ports that are open. So as we can see over here, like the port 53 is open and the service that is running is domain. Domain is domain name service, that is DNS as we commonly know it. So what to do next? Next, what we need to do is we need to make a request to this domain name server and try to find out what information we can get. So we need to log in to this domain name server, like we need to make a request for to this domain name server and get all the information that we can get. So I'll type dig, I'll use dig for this thing, and I'll type at the rate and then the IP, and then I'll need the txt records from this domain name server, and the domain that I'll do is key3 dot um, tbfc, because this is a tbfc, like that is the format they all follow. So tbfc and dot local, because this is a common format that people follow at the dot local for this internal servers. So let's try and hit enter and see if we can get something. Awesome, we got our third key. There is another way to do that, like if you want to just focus on this message, the answer that we got, instead of all this other info, there is a command called short, and we just get the answer that we need. So now we got the three part of the keys, the first part, second part, and the third part. Let's go to this TBFCQA Eastmas website that seems to be hacked and try to unlock the website. So here is the key that we got. Let me go back, copy it. That is Easter. I pressed Control C by mistake. Copy Easter. Then I need to copy the second key is the, let me increase the size so that it becomes easy for everyone. Next is the third key, that will be new Xmas. Awesome. So we got the three sections of the keys. So now we have access to go to the terminal. But before doing that, let's go back to the questions. What is the first part of the key found in the FTP server? The first part of the key that was found in the FTP server was Easter. I'll copy and paste it over here. Check, and yay, it's the correct flag. The second question says, what is the second key part found in the TBFC app? The second key part that we found using netcat is the 15th3. So I'll copy and paste it over here, click on check, and yay, it's the correct flag again. So what is the third key part found in the DNS records? We connected to the DNS records and got some information using dig, and the third key that it gave us is new Xmas. I'll copy that key and I'll paste that again and click on check. Awesome, we did the third, get the third flag. So right now we are in the admin console. One thing is, there used to be a tool called netcat, but netstat, but I don't think that netstat is installed. So there is another tool called sockets, like ss and hyphen help. So this is all the commands that you can use using sockets. So let's quickly check out the man page for sockets. So this tool is called the socket statistics tool, that's named as ss. So we need a few things from this machine, and we want to know a few things from this machine. So you can go through this entire manual page of the socket statistics to know more about this tool. For now, what we will be doing is I'll be wanting numeric ports that are open, and okay, it gave me a lot of ports, but I don't want all of them. uh I just want the what is there used? There is a lot of, okay, let's try the combination TryHackMe has given. Awesome. So we just want the TCP ports. T for stands for TCP, U stands for UDP, the N stands that we want the numeric types, the and all these things are like you can check out the manual pages. So what we see over here is we got this all these ports that are open like 53, like 68, 25251 we already know. This port also we know. 22 is SSH, we already know that. HTTP is also open. These sounds interesting, like 127.0.0.1 8000. That's why we got the like the login page, like the web page that's being hosted, it's HTTP. So one thing is very interesting over here is there is a 3306 port, which is a SQL, MySQL port that is open. Let's try to connect to MySQL right now. So I'll just type MySQL over here and press enter. Awesome, there is a MySQL server that is running. So let's type some MySQL commands. Show, sorry, show data bases. Awesome. So we have this very unique looking TBFC QA01 database. That sounds very interesting. The other things are just information schema, performance schema. We'll check on that later if it's required. So let's go to this database, select TBFC QA01. Unknown call. Okay, okay, shit. Okay, sorry. Use, it's a database. Sorry for that. It's a database. So use TBFC QA01 and press colon. Awesome. So we chose the correct database. Right now, um, let's check what things does it have. Show tables. And we see that there is a very interesting table called flags over here in this database. So let's try to fetch whatever is in that table. I'll do select star from flags. Awesome. And don't forget the semicolon. I always do forget it. So awesome. We got the final flag which says THM for all services discovered. Sorry, all services discovered. I read it for all. Silly me. And so that is the final flag. So which port was the MySQL database running? 3306. That's the default. What flag you found in the database? We found this I'll just copy this flag. I'll go back to this question. I'll paste this flag. Oh, we didn't copy? That's strange. Copy. I'll just paste it. Wow, I guess I'll need to type it. THM for all, and then services discovered. Awesome. We got all the flags. So if you enjoyed today's room, feel free to check out the Nmap, the basics room. I'll click on check. And awesome, you did it. Network Discovery Santa Claus is now complete. Thank you for sticking around. If you like this video, please click the like button below and please subscribe to this channel. We'll be bringing more such videos every day, including TryHackMe and many more challenges. We'll be solving those. Also, feel free to subscribe to CTF Digital, which is the other channel which will be covering much more than just CTFs, like software engineering parts, like DSA, etc. Thank you for your support. Keep watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.